The moon cast an eerie glow over the ghostly graveyard as I cautiously stepped between the ancient tombstones. The air was heavy with a sense of foreboding, and I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Ignoring the warnings of local legends, I ventured into this desolate place, driven by a morbid curiosity that would soon prove to be my undoing. The graves stood like silent sentinels, each telling a tale of lives once lived and now forgotten. As I moved deeper into the heart of the graveyard, the wind whispered haunting melodies that sent shivers down my spine. The solemn silence was broken only by the distant hoot of an owl, and an unsettling chill settled in the pit of my stomach. I couldn't deny the heaviness in the air, and my instincts screamed at me to turn back. But the lure of uncovering the mysteries that lay within the ghostly graveyard was too strong to resist. My flashlight illuminated the moss-covered tombstones and ancient mausoleums, casting eerie shadows that danced across the ground. As the clock struck midnight, the atmosphere shifted, and the graveyard seemed to come alive with ethereal energy. Faint wisps of mist rose from the ground, and a pale figure appeared in the distance, hovering above a crumbling tombstone. Fear gripped my heart, but a strange fascination held me in place. The apparition's eyes glowed with a haunting light, locking onto mine with an unsettling intensity. Its features were indistinct, like a fading memory, and a profound sadness emanated from its form. Panic surged through me, and I stumbled backward, my flashlight flickering. With each step, the graveyard seemed to transform. The tombstones shifted, their inscriptions changing before my eyes, revealing the forgotten stories of those laid to rest. The ground beneath me quivered, and the whispers of the wind turned into mournful cries. As I reached for my flashlight, it slipped from my grasp, and the graveyard plunged into darkness. I fumbled in the shadows, desperate to find my only source of light. But in the pitch-black void, I was enveloped by an overwhelming sense of dread and isolation. Suddenly, a soft glow emanated from the pale figure before me, illuminating the graveyard in an otherworldly radiance. The apparition extended a translucent hand, beckoning me to come closer. A mix of fear and curiosity overwhelmed me, and I hesitated. The figure's voice, like a gentle whisper from the beyond, spoke, "Do you seek the truth of the forgotten?" Before I could answer, the graveyard seemed to warp and shift. The tombstones rearranged themselves, spelling out a cryptic message that sent chills down my spine. The apparition's gaze bore into my soul, as if searching for something hidden deep within me. With a sudden jolt, the ghostly figures surrounding me began to rise from their resting places. They materialized, their ethereal forms shimmering with an otherworldly light. Some reached out with ghostly hands, their expressions a mix of sorrow and longing. As the specters encircled me, I realized I had unknowingly stepped into a realm caught between the living and the dead. These were the souls of the forgotten, seeking a connection to the world they had left behind. Overwhelmed by their presence, I struggled to breathe, trapped in the suffocating embrace of the ghostly graveyard. Their mournful cries echoed in my ears, merging with the haunting melodies that swept through the air. In that moment of despair, I felt a surge of determination. If I wanted to escape the clutches of this ghostly realm, I had to confront the sorrow and darkness that lingered within me. With a resolute breath, I turned to face the apparition and the spectral figures that surrounded me. I acknowledged their pain, their longing for remembrance, and the weight of their forgotten stories. I offered them the warmth of my empathy, a glimmer of hope in their eternal solitude. In response, the apparition and the ghostly figures began to fade, their forms dissipating like morning mist. The graveyard returned to its desolate state, and a profound stillness settled over the tombstones. As the sun began to rise on the horizon, the ghostly graveyard seemed to sigh with relief. The souls of the forgotten had found solace, if only for a moment, and I had found my way back to the realm of the living. With a newfound reverence for the forgotten stories that lay within the ghostly graveyard, desolate place, vowing never to forget the souls I had encountered. Their haunting presence lingered in my mind, a reminder that the past, though buried, should never be forsaken. The ghostly graveyard at midnight had revealed a truth that transcended the boundaries of life and death, a truth that reminded me of the importance of cherishing the memories of those who came before us. And as I stepped back into the world of the living, I carried the weight of their stories with me, a testament to the timeless bond that connects us all.